Hello there and welcome to another episode of Wet Liberal Whenever. This really isn't an episode of Wet Liberal Whenever in the traditional sense because it's a kind of video diary which I very badly attempted to keep while I was recently in the United States. I did it uniquely badly and 90% of the stuff I shot is utterly unusable. I shot most of it on my iPhone 3GS, not the iPhone 4, which would have been a lot better, but you know, you've just got to pace yourself. I can't always get new gadgets as soon as they come out. Don't have an iPad, don't have an iPhone 4. But I've got plenty of other gubbins, so really I can't complain. Amazing trip. I went to Los Angeles, went there for the 10th anniversary of the Toyota Prius and saw a sneak preview of the new Prius, sort of. You'll see that in the film. And then did lots of meetings about carpool and whether I'm going to do some carpools in America and trying to organise all that. I didn't do a video of all the meetings because that would have been quite boring. And then went to Las Vegas and shot 2 carpools, which you can see a quick sneak preview of on here. And then I came home, and that was it. The release of the new series of Carpool that's on Dave. The first episode starts on November the 4th at 8:30 on Dave in the UK, but once they've been broadcast on Dave, I can then release them in their full-length form. So that we've cut all of them to about 25-30 minutes, like the old Carpools were. And what's interesting is we had real trouble cutting them down to shorter versions because there's such good stuff there. So it's definitely not all, you know, like you get the 12 minutes of the best stuff and then the rest is all dross. We've got the 12 minutes of the best stuff and the rest we can't get in because it's such a shame, because that's also really good. So especially when people tell kind of longer stories or funny long-term jokes that keep recurring. So we've got time to do that in the full-length ones. And they will also be interspersed with new carpools that I'm recording, starting to record again now. Just haven't been able to do any while I was doing that, and how do they do it and all the other things I've been doing. But that said, please watch Carpool on Dave on November the 4th at 8:30 and then continuing for 10 weeks. How exciting is that? So this is my really rubbish video diary. It's not very long and it's not very good. I'm not going to pretend, but there's some good bits in it. There's some interesting stuff in it. I hope you enjoy it. Well, I'm waiting for the train now. To catch the train to London, to then catch another train to Heathrow Airport, to then get on an aeroplane to fly to Los Angeles. Well, here I am. I've just landed in Los Angeles. I'm now at the Georgian Hotel in Santa Monica. This is all rather swish and plush. Sweet. It's not too bad. You know, it's first morning in Los Angeles and it's very nice. There's the sea. Okay, well, I'm here in Malibu in California. But what's happening here today is the 10th anniversary of the Toyota Prius, and this is the garden party that's going to take place, and I'm allowed to sit down with proper clever people. That's why I'm here today, and I'm talking about electric cars and hybrids and stuff like that, and there's lots of actual proper clever people here too that I'm introducing, so that's why I'm in Malibu, and I have to say, it's rather nice. So 10 years, a lot of people don't think that the Prius has been around that long, but in fact it's been around even longer than that. They were developing it for quite a few years before that, but it's been sort of officially on the market for 10 years. And so it's just having a 10th birthday party today, which is, I think it's rather cute. So when I think of Malibu, I think of, well, that rather lovely drink that you get in bottles with coconut in it, or a beach and the sea. Well, there's the sea and the beach, just there. We're just in the hills above it, really. So this is the most remarkable setting. And it's it's got solar panels everywhere, and it's an organic garden type thing, and it's all sort of, it's a lot of eco business going on here, which is very impressive. It's getting busy now. There's going to be a lot of people turning up. So we got here early, but now it's going to get full of people now, which is good, because it would be embarrassing if nobody came. You know, it's like having a birthday party for your 10-year-old, there's no one there, that would be sad. So seeing as how I was still a little bit jet lagged, I quickly brushed up on what was taking place on the day, and I talked to all the people that were there. Some amazing people there, really incredible bits of technology on display, which I didn't film of course, and these are some of the people I was on the panel with. But it all took place at this incredible house which belongs to a man called Eric Lloyd Wright, who is Frank Lloyd Wright's grandson. It's a building that still isn't finished. It's been built since the 1980s. And there were also these extraordinary Prius cars on display. Look at that one. I mean, quite spooky, sort of reworked Prius, quite extraordinary. And of course, the plug-in Prius, the new one that's available in 2012, which I've driven, which is amazing, 87 miles to gallon easy. And this is the new Prius, which is coming out next year, but you can't see it. It's the blue one behind. It's a bit bigger. That's all we know. About to drive to Las Vegas from Santa Monica in Los Angeles, and this is how far I've got to go. 282 miles, and it'll be very interesting to see how long it really takes. So it does take 5 hours 23 minutes.
I recently created a church. It's called the First Universal Church of Knowledge.
Right.
Which is, of course, fuck. And this is because of what, that story. When you're in a situation where you don't yell, oh God, you yell, oh fuck.
Yeah, so you need a church.
So I thought about that for a second, and I thought, you have the option to yell God.
Yeah.
And you have the option to yell fuck. And yes. I personally,
jeez, fuck. I
got shot once and said fuck. and therefore, the First Universal Church of Knowledge, that's about empowering people.
Yeah.
And we welcome everyone. There's a whole Scientology section and a section for Judaism, and Mormons are welcome, and Jehovah's Witnesses. And I wrote it all down, and where they have little spots on the fuck mall. It's like a big mall. It's like a church,
So I drove to Las Vegas for one specific reason. There was this amazing event taking place. It was called the Dew Tour, Extreme Sports Championships. BMX riders and skateboarders, quite extraordinary. And this man in particular, Jamie Bestwick, was quite extraordinary. And here he is doing a carpool. All the kids that are into it are already into that anyway.
Yeah,
so
it's all networking.
Yeah.
And you
as opposed to the Sun's new Twitter account. Follow the Sun on Twitter.
Follow the Sun. Debbie from Macclesfield on page 3.
She's got a Twitter account.
Yeah, she's got a Twitter account. See Gazarus, you've never seen him before. Oh, God.
No, please, can we not? I also had the pleasure of doing a carpool with this amazing guy, Bob Burnquist.
Every day we skate, probably 60 to 70% of the session is falling.
Right.
Because if you're learning something,
yeah.
90%, 95% of it is falling, yeah. And then 5% is like, okay, you just made it.
Yeah. Well, that's all I've got time for. There will be another Wet Liberal whenever, as soon as I can, do it. But one with a lot more sort of strident political haranguing and ranting, I'm sure. I'll get round to it sometime. Got plenty of things that, I can have a rant about, I'm sure. But if you have been, thank you for watching.